Time now for sid-six-zero. This is where I get 60 seconds to talk about a lot of stuff. Start the clock, please. Here's what's on my mind this morning. Contrary to popular belief, the media that cover the Toronto Maple Leafs day in and day out aren't that bad. I've been in those scrums, pregame, postgame. The questions, mostly above board. But there comes that one moment every year where things turn. And that's when you know the pressure is growing around the Leafs. It happened a few nights ago. Steve Simmons of the Toronto Sun, never shy to ruffle some feathers, brought up a topic that most Leaf fans in the moment were kind of sort of talking about. Defenseman Justin Hall, who's been shaky all year, started Game 4. Tampa scored in the first 60 seconds. So head coach Sheldon Keefe, why start him?
Why would you start your worst defenseman in a building knowing it was going to be this loud and this crazy?
Who's our worst defenseman?
Justin Hall.
It's your opinion, I guess.
The media are the reflection of the fans, whether you want to admit it or not. The pressure is mounting. Game 5 tonight, 7:30 on Sportsnet. Donnovan Bennett from Sportsnet joining us. Donovan, my take on that is the questioning was a little harsh from Steve. Steve's always been nice to me. That was a little harsh. But let's go big picture. It's not like he's not reflecting some kind of discussion that's going on in the fan base, because people sometimes, they want to lose sight of the bigger picture. I was fine with the question. The line of questioning, in your opinion, were you good with? And the subject matter?
Couple things. The line of questioning did its job. It had us talking about it. It had it going viral. So, the questioner got the response. What are you going to say? Oh, you're right, Steve. He is terrible. I can't believe we agree. So coach said what he was going to say. Questioner said what he was going to say. But most importantly, what I heard when I was listening was the media is reflecting the feeling of the fan. And you've got on said fan in terms of their impact on the series and making sure that they're there. And so as a media member, I'm just the voice of the people. And I think we need Sid to wear the sweater. Let's go, my friend. Like, we're talking about pressure being on. You're wearing blue already, so the palette is already set up. The spring tones of that Duke blue that you're wearing, outstanding. I want you to look like Carlton the Bear, my friend. You need to put the sweater on. 1-866-267-3797. We're going to hear why you need to wear the sweater.
You sound offline, Donovan.
Oh, no, we're sounding on. Pressure's on, my friend. But in all seriousness, when we talk about pressure, and you talked about the comments that we heard from the team, I actually am maybe a little bit more calm when I heard from Morgan Riley say, listen, we've learned from the playoffs of the past, but guess what? You're not going to believe me until we do it. So there's really not much point talking about, which is acknowledging that there is pressure, giving you a remedy as to how they're going to get through it. And no one has had momentum in this series. So I think the fact that they're at home, they have last change, hopefully they stay out of the penalty box so Marner and company can stay on the ice. I think this ultimately is going to be the game that decides it.
All right. I mean, asking you for predictions is a little tough, but I'm going to throw it out there. If you want to kind of maneuver around it, it's fine. Does Donnovan Bennett believe, because I sense beliefs waning in the fan base here of the Leafs, especially after Sunday. Do you still believe this team can do this?
Game 5 winner of a 2-2 series wins the series 79% of the time. As I mentioned, they're at home. They have last change, so they can get Marner and Matthews away from, that Cirelli line, which has really dominated them on the road. And, I'm sorry, is this the Champions League where the aggregate score matters? We've seen blowouts all across these playoffs, which have meant nothing in the next game. So certainly I do believe it. Jack Campbell's not going to give up 5 goals on 16 shots again. If they no longer are the most penalized team in the playoffs, not only do they win Game 5, I think they go back to Tampa and win Game 6.
They took 8 penalties the other night. The game was like 4-0 before they started taking penalties, which was the craziest thing. Game 5, Sportsnet tonight, 7:30. It's tied at 2, Leafs and Bolts. Donnovan Bennett. I may or may not wear the jersey coming up. We'll see. We'll see.
Come on, put it on.
I don't believe in peer pressure, but it is effective. Have a good day, Donovan. Thank you.
Later.
All right, we're going to take a break. You sound off coming up.